All right, here we are. Cool. All right, let's get Ruins Online on them. All right. I don't know if the headset's working, so y'all are gonna have to hold on for a sec. There it is. Okay, yeah, it's working. Cool. And change the way your rolling stock is coupled, manual or automatic. Honestly, one of these days, I think one of the things I might do for the sake of just playing the game, I might go back to when they didn't have, you know, the stuff like the automatic coupling and all that stuff and just play the game how it was when it first came out. Oh, that's right. That happened when I left and it's getting worse. Oh no. That's why I left last time. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, please stop derailing. Stop. No, not another one. Help, it got worse. It got so much worse. This one derailed too. I'll just oh my god, get out of here. How many cars is that? One, two, three, four. Hold on, let me recount. Let's see. One, two, three, four, five, six, and seven, eight. Wow. 8 cars out of the, what, 12 I had derailed me? Derailed me and failed me. That would make a really good song, by the way. Derailed me and failed me. Bless you. Shut up. My dog just sat there and stared at me like, what the flip did I do? You existed. All right. There's another one. Just let that one go down. And hopefully they don't derail as they hit the car. There we go. Yeah, they're fine. We're good. Oh my goodness. There we go. All right. This was always my most entertaining part of this game. Trust me. I did always actually like re-railing in this game, especially when you're on an angle and you get to just grab the train and just kind of do this. It was one of the entertaining bits of the thing, I think. All right, we're actually kind of close to getting all of them. I don't know if this one actually derailed or not. Yeah, we're gonna say it did, and we're just gonna go on ahead and slap it back on the tracks here and, go on about our day. All right, and then we have this one that did not, so we're just gonna let it go. Of course, this one does have all the trains, so we're gonna keep that brake on so we don't slam into it and derail again. I know why I derailed last time, but good chunk. All right, here we go. All right, I think that's everything. We're low on water, so we're gonna have to get some of that when we go into the station, which I kind of expected. Nothing new or unusual. Why were you laughing so much? Do I even want to know? And again, guys, sorry in advance if it seems like I'm ignoring you. I promise you I'm not. Unfortunately, the way that the streams work on my laptop, it takes it about 10 to 15 seconds to actually render anything that I say or do. So it seems like I'm ignoring you, but I'm not. Okay, I need to count and see how many of these I had. I'm not exactly sure that's something I would laugh at. I think I'd have to question whether or not I was, had a life. If I'm sitting on Roblox for 4 hours. Straight. Hell, I can't even last an hour on Roblox, and you're sitting there for 4? Yeah, I'm gonna worry. This is actually a really cool view right here. Oh, look. 1,000-foot junction. I don't know what that means, but okay. I'm gonna go sit in my cool car over here. Look at this. Oh, I wanted to actually stream this to show you guys. They put an Easter egg in this game, and I didn't even realize it. Look. Look. Look, 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 look. It's a golden Betsy. Nobody's going to get that reference because they haven't played this game, most likely, but I get the reference, and I'm happy. I saw that, and I about jumped out of my chair with excitement. Not really, but, you know, you get the point. You know, I'm trying to figure something out because they got this thing over here talking about um new something or something another soon. And I'm over here trying to figure out what their plan, the plan was to add, because there's nothing to add. Maybe it was supposed to be like a route that where you could go up there. I don't really know what else it could be for. I'd have to look at the layout and all. I'll show you guys what I mean. We're gonna run in front of the train. This is don't run on the railroad tracks, kids. It's not smart. Especially when you got a train charging after you like a maniac. But anyway, what I mean is, it says extension soon, or expansion soon. Same thing. And I have yet to understand what they were planning on putting out here. Because there's nothing that you can really do unless they were planning on making like a, I don't know. But anyway, today is not only going to be about doing this. I did promise you guys that I would begin work on trying to build a route to the industries in which I have planted, and also adding the other industries in which I was going to add. So I want to try and do that today. I don't know if I'll get it all done, but I want to at least haul one load so that we have a little bit of cash to do it with. And go from there, I guess. Also, it is official, unfortunately, that we will not be using the other planks for much longer. Have almost completely emptied them out. Once we fill, we're not going to fill the train up actually on this one. Once we get what we have left over there, that's it. We're going to have to wait. Also, hi, Chris. We're going to back it up and come back over here and load up because that's how much we need. But yes, for those of you who are wondering what I mean by building to the new industries, I put an industry there, and I'm planning on putting one or two here or over here. I'm probably going to put one here and then put one over here. But the only way I can get to it is there is a switch track right here that doesn't get used at all. And I'm planning on making a route that goes around everything to get to them. So yeah. So we're gonna show my version of building compared to everyone else's versions of building. I mean, this track here that you guys are looking at, I built myself, and I think it looks good. Granted, I could have made it smaller, but I liked the idea of using the island over here as just a spot to put a switch, which I was going to need one. And it was better to use the island for a switch rather than to just randomly put a floating switch somewhere. So that's what we did. This thing is running out of coal faster than I know what to do with. It's actually one of my favorite locomotives in the game because of the odd design. I've always been, and it kind of goes the same with ships, trains, planes, all that stuff. I've always been fascinated with the odd designs rather than what people would call the normal designs. So, yeah. I could always put like a little lake stick. You know what, guys? I know what I want to do to this island. Think about it for a second. All right, hear me out. A island town. And then what we can do is for the other island, we can do another town and we can make a track that's quite literally designed to go just back and forth. Of course, we'll have to put a water tower and all that in there, but you know, I think it'd be cool. Put that on the project list because that's gonna happen. I want to do that now. I'm gonna get me like a freaking list made, and it's gonna be called freaking Railroads Online Project List. And on it, anything stupid that I come up with will do. I think I'm more worried though about the fact that this thing's running out of logs and planks and things. All right, how many do we have as of right now? 29. So yeah, we're not gonna have enough because 12, 18, 24. So I'll have enough for one car, and then we'll have to back up to go to the other one. If I'm calculating correctly, which I believe I am. There's only one thing I wish that they would have added to this game that I think would have been really useful, and that is the addition of um if you guys have ever played Railroader, you know that there's an option where you can grab the train and you can control it wherever. It would have been nice to have an option like that for Railroads Online so that you didn't have to, constantly do this and pray that you could, whatever, because then I could figure out exactly how many things I had left without having to do anything crazy. All right, so we're gonna go and load up the last few cars. Come on. There we go. All right. Right. And coincidentally, if we had that option, I could walk all the way to the caboose and I could do a first person version of what I'm doing right now. Hmm. Yeah. One of these days, what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to do one of those trains where it hooks up. I'll do one of the what do they call them? Switch arounds or whatever. Where they go and they unhook the train from the front, like this one is, and they'll have a switch in which they go, they back the train up, and then they hook on, in this case, to the back of the caboose here with the front connector right here, and then they tow it tender first all the way back. It's actually what you'll see a lot of trains do. Um, if I'm remembering correctly, that's what they do at the Denver and Rio Grande. I could be wrong about that, but they do it in quite a few places. The Railroad Museum I've went to, they don't do that because they don't have a switch for it. What they do though is they have the locomotive and it'll push the train first. It'll push the train down to like, it's like a 2 mile long, I think it's like 2 or 4 miles long track. And they're going in at like a decently slow speed. And then they'll get the train to pull it back to the station and then they'll unload. But that's what you get when you have a railroad museum that's not funded by the state. They're not funded by anything. They're just, running off of everything they can get their hands on, basically. Because the state is a cheapskate, but, stuff like that is the kind of stuff that I've always thought should have been, um, cared more about. Like, preserving history like that is... Now, granted, the cars that they have are not exactly like your, like, Pullman coaches or anything like that. They're actually, a lot of them are like, flatbed cars that they've kind of converted into a passenger car, but it works just the same. But, yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of a railroad nut. Not really anything crazy, just, little tidbits here and there. I can tell you my favorite weird looking locomotive. That's the Camelbacks, or what they call the Camelbacks. Basically where the, I can probably explain it better in the cab of the locomotive. In just a second. So, you guys see how they have the boiler kind of sitting in my lap? Because this is where you would actually sit, right? Well, the boiler would actually be all the way at the back of the train. And of course, they'd have the tender. This one doesn't come with a tender, but the tender would be attached and all. But the cab, where the engineer would sit, would be basically sitting, on this locomotive. I guess it would be sitting here. And the boiler would have like this, like cover over it to keep the firebox, the fireman, I think is what they actually call him, um, keep him dry, for when it's raining and stuff. Like he would not even be in the cab. There would be a separate guy most likely in the cab next to the boiler. But can you just imagine how hot that is being in that area? Like a lot of people say, oh, it's hot being right there next to the boiler. Yeah, that's true. Steam engines were very hot, and it still gets me by the way that they say that. Meanwhile, the guys that were operating the locomotives and everything, they're wearing freaking overalls and like long sleeve shirts and stuff like this. And it's like, yeah, it's hot in that locomotive. I'm like, I wonder why. Oh boy, what in the world jiggles over there? We'll start building here in a little bit. I just want to go and get this thing filled up with water, and we'll unload this, and then we'll park the train. So for those of you who are wondering what exactly it is I'm saving up for, well, I am currently saving up to try and get us to level 6 so that I can purchase this locomotive here. Because this is the locomotive that we're probably going to need to get us to the top of the hill. If not, I could buy this. Well, no, that one actually has less track. How does that have less? What the? Well, we might end up having to go to level 7 if that's the case, so that we can get this. But I don't want this. I don't want this to be our first big locomotive. Oh, what 6 points attractive effort? Am I right, guys? Oh, and it's cheaper. Well, hold on. Let me customize it and we'll find out how much cheaper it actually is. Oh boy, they got horrible design choices. Yeesh. I do like this. I do like that. Those look better. I do tend to like this one a little bit better. Oh, hold on. Oh no. No, 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 no. What the box? No, I indeed do like this one better. I like that one. And then if we can get a decent paint job, that'd be great. Ooh, the black looks really nice. Ooh, look at that. I kind of like that one, honestly. So that's how much we'd end up paying, which is still cheaper than if we got the other one. So, yeah. It's all fun and games until it costs 20,000 freaking dollars. Hold on, guys. Let me look. But yeah, that's not even the most expensive locomotive we have in the game. Um, that's actually the next to the closest expensive. You think 20,000's bad until you have to pay $33,190, and that's not even for a customizableness. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go on ahead and put an ugly ass smokestack on there because we really don't give a shit. Can we get like a big ass light? Yeah, that'd be cool. Big ass light. Kind of like that one. That one looks cool, but I do like the sides on that one. So we'll do that one. And then it doesn't really come with a paint job. Well, yeah, it does. You can get it green. You want it in green? It'll look good in green. Yeah, so there you go. That's the most expensive locomotive we have in the game. And this, I still have yet to understand why they have this as a locomotive, because it's actually not a locomotive from what I understand. From what I understand, it's actually a, um, just a minute, I'm trying to find a really cool thing. I like the red. The red looks good. It's not actually a locomotive. It's actually I like to call it a locomotive, but it is a locomotive chassis that they've strapped, and you're supposed to push it with a. Uh-oh. I went too far. Oh boy. Hold that thought. Brakes, please work. Brakes, please work. I said brakes work. Brakes not working. We went too fast. Yeah, that's another reason I'll be glad to get another locomotive. This thing does not do locomotive things well. All right. First things first, we got to get this thing some water because I'm pretty sure it's thirsty. How close can we get? That might actually be spot on right there. If that's spot on, this will make me die laughing. Not quite. We're close. We need to go back just a little tad. Or was it forward? We need to go forward. Forward, you idiot. Get a bit further. Come on. There we go. Why does it not want to work? It was working fine last time. Now you're going to give me issues? You weren't giving me issues last time. Come on. Matter of fact, last time you were working fine. Oh, my lord. I'm about to start singing Kumbaya, my lord. I really am. Because one minute it works fine, and then the next it don't want to. See, it used to be the way they had it is you didn't have to get it specifically in there. You could put it anywhere, and it would work. Now they've kind of fixed it, and by fixing it, they broke it. Because now it's virtually impossible to get the freaking thing to work. Alright, and brake. Yeah, that's actually too close. We need it to pull forward because it's not going to fill up otherwise. If I remember correctly, this one is sat too close to the freaking thing. So you end up having to pull forward in order to get it to work. Bonk! Oh. Think. Nope, that one's filling. Alright, cool. That works. Unlimited. Unlimited. Nice. I got some seeds. You want some seeds? Pine Valley Manufacturing Company. Wait a minute. We're not in Pine Valley. Ba-na-na-na. Yeah, I love the fact that they have grass. Oh, heater. Is that open? Can I open? Oh, I can't open that. Oh. I don't know if they were like just really messing up really bad when they designed this thing or what, but half this thing ain't even working the way it needs to. Hey, you, give me all your money. He's just kind of mute, you know? All right, you put that up now. This water kind of looks funky. I want to drink it. I knew it tasted funny. All right, here we go. The unloading process begins. There is actually something that I could purchase that would actually make things a little bit easier for me. And I could put it over there where I load that stuff up and it would be easier than anybody realizes, but I don't know how well you get paid from it, so I don't want to use it just yet. But if it works as good as I think it will, then that'll be great. Alright, well, we're gonna chug ourselves on back to the thing, and we're gonna get to work on that thing once we get down. And the reason I say this, alright, so I'm gonna get out for a second. Alright, so if I go to G, there is oh, I gotta find it first, hold on. Logging camp. Yeah, a Redwood freight depot, and if I place it down, the only thing that they take is planks. So, if I go here and I demolish, am I gonna facilities? Let's do all. There we go. And if I fly over here, now this is the cheat code that I've seen a lot of YouTubers use. Um, if I go all the way over here, I don't even have to step foot out of the loading area here. All right, I can go here and I can grab it, right? And I can rotate it around. Well, hold on, I gotta make sure it's perfect because it's gonna drive me nuts if it's not. It's about as perfect as I'm gonna get it, I think. There we go. That's perfect. And I go kersplat, right? And then I just, what I'll do is I'll load the cars up and then I'll dump them off immediately here. And they, in essence, will buy it off of me with no issues. And I'll make money off of it. And it's just the planks, by the way. Like, that's the only thing that they buy there. Hello, Kari. So I'm gonna test this theory later, not right now, later, And I want to see if it's true that that is something that you can do. And if it is, then we might just use that to make the quick buck. Uh-oh, I messed up. Oh boy. Run. Run. Go faster. Beat the train. Oh, I got on the train. We're good. Look at the train go. Yeah, see, funny thing is, we're actually going through this. I will eventually have to go through this later. This is the Ironworks, which makes, tools, and I believe it's, metal pipes. And they need a lot of crap in order to make it work. See, a lot of, I get the feeling a lot of you guys, you're thinking, oh, well, they don't really need a lot of stuff in order to make this work. Actually, it's contrary to popular belief. The planks and the beams, you need all of them. All of them in order to make the rest of the train stuff work. Alright, so I'll show you. Alright, so in order for funny enough, in order for the iron ore mine, which is right here, to work, you need planks and beams. Okay, cool, right? Well, here's not a really good example, but the iron ore goes here to the smelter and you need cordwood. Cordwood, I believe, that's like the only place that you actually need that stuff. But then, in order to get coal, which is the next thing, you need beams and you need rails. Going back to the beams over here, aren't we? Alright? Then, I believe, if I'm correct, coal goes over here to where we just passed. Where am I at? Over here. You need planks, coal, and the raw iron. Then you take the tools and all that good stuff to the refinery, and guess what? They need beams. And then you take all that stuff all the way over here, and guess what they need, guys? They need planks. See what I mean? You always end up needing something later on. And then if we even go further, the gold, you need tools, beams, rails, and coal. So yeah, you end up needing a lot more for the gold than what you probably want, but yeah, it ends up being worth it later, I promise. The gold is actually the highest grossing thing that I know of in the game. It makes you the most money out of anything in the game. And of course, well, hold on, I clicked the wrong button. Of course, there's also the farming stuff, which I have two right now. You have this one right here, as you can see. And then I believe you take, that to the cattle farm, which you need a cattle car in order to do. And then you take all that over here, and guess what? You need coal in order to do that. So again, you're still screwed no matter how you look at it, but, whatever. Hello. The industry stuff that they do, I think, is really just to piss a lot of people off. It's like, because, the farm, from what I understand, the farming stuff was supposed to be like a really, really easy thing that could be done pretty much early game. My day's fine so far. I did say so far. Hmm. Yeah, for once. Let's be honest, the YouTube algorithm never does anything it's supposed to do when it's supposed to do it. Hey. Weirdly enough, the one game that I actually stream more than I do this game, the algorithm just says, fuck you. But no, when I play Railroads Online, it's like, yeah, we'll push that out. It's fine. I don't pay attention to numbers, so I don't really give a shit whether or not it gets pushed out or not. I'm doing this for my own enjoyment, and whoever joins, joins. If you don't, you don't, you know? I learned a long time ago if you cared about the numbers, you're never going to get anywhere on this platform. Well, I've had this damn name forever, so I ain't stealing nobody's shit. And no offense, but considering the last thing that you did was a year ago, I severely doubt that's what's going on anyway. I'm old enough. It's all you need to know. I started this channel probably, let's see, June will make 2 years, and there have probably been about 5 occasions where um, there's probably been about 5 occasions where I've been close to just saying fuck it and leaving, but still haven't gotten around to it. Funny enough, on the old internet I used to have, the internet before I got this one, I couldn't even stream my main game that I stream now. It could not do it. The only game that I could really stream, and I ended up deleting them because they weren't really good entertaining. Now I wish I would have kept them, but I couldn't stream War Thunder. But for some odd reason, I could stream Farming Sim. Never could figure that one out, but you know. And now I haven't touched Farming Sim in years. Been wanting to get the new one, but I don't. I'm selling my life away in War Thunder. And of all the things I could purchase, I'm buying boats. Ships. Why, I don't know. I've had people tell me, they're like, dude, you're doing really good. You've been on here for, like, they're like, you've been doing really good. You've been in here for like a year, and you got 700 something subscribers. Most YouTubers don't get that. And it's like, well, that's because a lot of YouTubers, when they first start, they're making videos. They're not actually interacting with their subscribers. I don't make videos. I make live streams. I have a better opportunity to interact with the people that subscribe to me rather than just being a video that they know. Like, perfect example here, Komodo Gaming. Yeah, okay, they go to Comic-Cons, once every year? And if you can't afford to go, you just don't get to meet them? Too sad, too bad, basically. Why do that when if you live stream, you can still interact with your viewers in a way that, I feel like, friggin' yeah, I came up with the name, oddly enough. It was just something, I used to go by Frustrated Wolf, and I kind of decided not to go by that anymore because the person that I kind of named the channel after ended up leaving the group that I liked, and I kind of felt angry at him, so I then proceeded to change my name to Southern Wolf. And then I find out after I made my channel that, hot damn, I found a glitch. Quick, load me! Wait, why aren't you selling? Sell. Sell, damn it. Sell! Thank you. Keep selling! Keep selling! Sell! No, don't sell over here. No, sell over this way. Yeah, that way. Yeah. Come on. Keep loading. Keep loading. I found a glitch. I will expedite my glitch. Freaking yes. It was a freaking gaming chair, bro. Yeah, I found out not long after I created the name that there was actually a channel named after me that I kind of stole without realizing it. And I didn't do it on purpose, of course. But but I found the infinite money glitch. Well, they load by 3. They finally fixed it to where they would load by 3, so if I keep this up, I'll have all my money I need in no time. But yeah, I found out not long after, if you go and look up Southern Wolf Gaming, you find the gaming chair, but they haven't released a video or anything. I even looked it up. I was going to get me a Southern Wolf Gaming chair, and they don't even make them anymore. Like, it's just an old channel from, I guess, a failed company. We're at 3,000. Luckily, John Railroadson, which is the character in which people have given it a name, he's the only person that actually lives. Like, this guy over here is just sitting here probably watching us and being like, how is he managing this magic? And probably making him angry, but yeah, who cares? And the funny thing is, this is like the only thing. This is like the only thing you can actually glitch with, so I'm gonna end up having to go get more logs too. I'm gonna empty this out as fast as I can here. I'm gonna kill my enter keyboard as, like, friggin' much as I'm slamming it right now. Oh, we hit 4,000. All we need is, like, well, if I decide to get the locomotive I'm going to get, it'll probably be more than that, but I still need to just get, wait a minute, hold on, why am I not getting any more XP? Hold on a minute. Hold it. Did we manage to somehow fill this thing up? No. Why isn't it doing it then? Give me XP. Oh, it's just like a really slow process. Never mind. It wasn't doing it for a second. Oh, we're out of lumber. We have to wait for the thing to fill it up. So, that actually gives me the opportunity to begin working on what I was gonna do once I got done with that. So, it'll load that up and then we'll go from there. So there is a nice line that they made. What is this, a coal chute? Oh, it is a coal chute. Okay, cool. That'll actually work out better than you would think. Actually, alright. Well, we have a job to do, and we're gonna have to delete some of this because this is not gonna work. Okay, hold on. We're gonna do rails. Okay, there we go. Alright, cool. Now, well, to be fair, um, when I first started, I was not a big fan of speaking either. What you see now, what you're hearing now, is something that I've developed over the time of, no, shift is, there we go, okay. Over the time of, doing this for a year. Alright, let's see. What are we looking at for, okay. That's not gonna work, is it? 2%? Nope. 2% ain't gonna work. Oh boy. 4% grade just to get up here. Well, luckily we're not gonna be using this for a while, so we'll just do that. Yeah, sure. Why not? That makes total sense. Delete that. We're not doing that. No. Uh-uh. Delete that, and then delete that. We'll do it a different way. My channel, when I first started, I was not saying a word. I didn't have a microphone or anything. So needless to say, it ended up being one of those, like, silent type YouTube channels. Why am I even doing this? There's like a way that I can go right here. Wait, hold on, I gotta remember which. Right, this way. Here we go. Put it down. Maybe. I hate trying to do this stuff. I really do. All right, here we go. Mhm. Nothing crazy. All right. We might be screwed. I really don't want to have this thing going any higher than about 4%. So let's see what we do here. There we go. Okay. This is gonna be such a man, those are some good times just listening to Sabaton and having a good day. All right. Now we're gonna grab a different bridge because I like bridge. Bridge cool. All right. They've been labeled a few things, yes, but they're not what people label them. And yes, I do believe people do actually go mental over people listening to them. But who cares? If you don't like them, don't listen to them, right? All right, here we go. Cool. All right, well, hmm, yeah, I'm gonna have to do the thing. You can tree chopper down with the trees. Here we go. That works. Okay, that one's gone. This is gonna have to go. Sabaton literally does their songs to preserve history because nobody else is trying to. If you've actually ever listened to interviews and stuff where they've been asked why they do it, that's exactly the answer they'll give you. We do it to preserve history, to tell stories nobody else can tell, which to me made perfect sense. So, cut 50 trees? Oh, wow! That's not exactly an achievement I'd want to get in real life, but okay. Congratulations, you've killed a forest. You know, I've said it, and I really wish they would have added this. Every time you cut down a tree, it fills up the logging station. You should see Pine Valley. Now that's a freaking tree farm over there. I'm just trying to get everything out of my way that's in my way. There we go. Got that one. All right. There's a few that are still kind of closer than I'd want them to be. There we go. Wait, how'd you survive? Get out of here. Freaking chooka chooka. All right, now the rest of the line here. Right. All right. Now we begin our lovely descent into madness. Unless, hmm, hmm, I have an idea. Anyone who knows me knows when I say the word, I have an idea, you're screwed. Hmm. Okay, we got a long little area over here. So my idea is a switch. So go this way. Okay. Switch without that. There we go. Yeah, just a floating switch. It's fine. It's normal. This is normal, ladies and gentlemen. This is normal behavior. Do not fear. Or fear. Yeah, fear. Do not fear. We are fine. We are the normal people. The only issue with this is I have to put the thing way the flip over here in order to get it to be long enough to actually be able to hold the route that we're going to need to do. Okay, right there. Perfect. Now I'm hoping that it didn't do what I think it just did, and if it did, I'm going to have to freaking delete it, and then I'm going to scream. Son of a... Alright. Where's my buffer? Here you are. Bonk. There we go. Makes sense. You know, there is one person in the universe who I used to watch. I don't watch now because he's an asshole. Um, and it didn't take me long to realize it. Heist would freak out about what I'm about to do because he can't stand that particular type of train track layout. But I love it. It's actually one of my favorite train track layouts. And I threatened to use them before, and I didn't figure I'd have to, but it looks like I'm going to have to. This ain't going to work either. Oh, wait, hold on. I need a massive amount of ballast in order for this to work. Oh, wait, hold on. We can just do without ballast. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Yeah, okay. No, it doesn't. Apparently not. This one? There we go. Is that going to get in the way? Oh, it's not. Okay, cool. Now, how in the world did that manage to work out? Where it didn't, what? Never mind. This is normal. I'm actually going to try something a little bit different, actually. Let's try. Let me try doing something a little bit different. All right, so we'll do the track, obviously, duh. But we'll do it all the way over. Get up in the air. There we go. All right, we'll do it all the way over to here, right? Okay. And then we'll grab the bridge and yoink it over here. There we go. Yeah. What in the crooked... the Jesus? All right, well, whatever. All right. Now you watch it now. This thing's going to want to do it the other way now. Nope, it worked. Okay, we're good. All right. So, first of all, grab it. Grab that. Okay. Now we got to turn it the other way. Okay. Well, it seems as though we have a problem. I have now reached the stage in which I have to grab the steel dress. Well, darn it. Anyway. Nope. Nope. Mm. 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 I like this actually. It looks really good. So right about there, maybe? Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Cool. And then we'll go straight. Okay. Okay. And then we will continue up the path of whatever this is. I think the highest you can actually turn in this game is about 50, so we'll do another one of these. Boy, somebody somewhere is probably screaming at me at the top of their lungs. "So nice!" And screaming at me not to do it because they know what I'm doing and they can't stand it. Also, I'm actually confusing myself here because the way I'm supposed to do it, I'm doing it wrong. I don't even know why I did that one back there. I really don't because it doesn't even need it. Oh well, we'll leave that as like a switch track, I guess. I'm doing it wrong, and the reason I say I'm doing it wrong is technically if I was doing this the way that I was going to do it, the switches would have to be on the opposite side, not the side in which I put them. And I'm not redoing everything, so that's not happening. So we're going to have to go forward and just keep going until we can't no more, and then we'll throw a switch back down. Where are we going anyway? I don't even know. Alright, well, we'll throw a switch back like right here. I think a switch back will do really well right here. Okay. Left switch. Alright, now I got to. I think it's this one I need. Yeah, okay. Alright, now. No, sir, trains do not go burr, trains go vroom vroom. Thank you. Holy 40-degree angle. Alright. Yeah, we're just gonna get a loop going, I guess. Now we'll just slap a massive loop in here, just 'cause we can. There we go. There we go. Alright. Now, this is where things get interesting. Because this is slightly in the way. I know there's somebody out there somewhere wanting to murder me beyond murder right now because of what I'm doing. Oh, wait, hold on. I actually kind of need it to. Alright. Well, honestly, I play more tank games and stuff like that than I do anything like this, so this is more or less to make the people that do love trains enough that they will quite literally yell at me if I do something wrong. Watch. Because I know I'm pissing somebody off and that's what's making me laugh. Because I'm that kind of person. I will intentionally piss somebody off just to piss them off. Just because, yeah. Alright, now I gotta try to make it somehow work. I could boost it up to 3% or 4. Well, by this time, I'm sure we'll have, um, I'm sure we'll have bigger locomotives, so I'm not really too worried about how far up it goes. Oh, I love War Thunder, dude. I love it. Like beyond comprehension, I guess is the best way for me to explain it. Do I love War Thunder? Mm-hmm. I sure do, actually. All right. What in the Jesus Christ? All right, now I have to do something else. This without. Yeah. No, back, 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 ye heathen. All right. No. There we go. That one. Okay. Now. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You can't go any further? Son of a. All right. Well, looks like we're starting here. All right. Hold on. Wrong button. Mm, mm. I don't. Well, yeah, I do. Never mind. I know how I can get this to work. Right switch, grab this, yada, yada, yada. There we go. All right. Now, this is going to be the funny part. That's going to probably make somebody die of laughter. All right. See you later, bud. Have a good one. Now, I love my red ones. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could, hold on. I could just put one, enough that, all right, hold on. 1, 2, and then get rid of 3, and then try and make a route with the regular things. I hope it'll work, honestly. Let's see. Will it work? Yes, it will. All right, cool. But the question is for how far? I mean, honestly, I don't think we'd need anything longer than that, but we can try. Okay. All right. All right, cool. And then we will put a random ass fucking buffer right here that floats. Yeah. All right, there we go. So that is hopefully the line that will do what we need it to do. Now we need, because all of this is going backwards, because, let's see, we pull in forwards, okay? We're going all the way forwards in this one. And then in order for it to work, we have to back our way up, which is going to be a pain, all the way up. And then what we'll do is we'll back it all the way up, get this, and then we're good. Yeah. Yeah, that works actually really well. Now I got to make sure, are we high and no? We're not anywhere close, actually, to being high enough to do what we need to do. This is going to be a pain in the ass, and I can already tell it's going to be a pain in the ass. Because you can't go further than right here, which should be just enough room, I hope. But we're going to try it. Alright, we're going to go up at 1%. I might just take a break on this, honestly, and just come back to it later, guys. If I'm being honest, because this is painfully annoying. Okay. Alright. And that. And we're going up 1%. Alright. Perfect. That. And then the bridge. Okay. And we gotta pray that they haven't made a limit on these. If they have, we are so screwed. Which it does not look like they have, so we might be okay. But we are still nowhere near as tall as we need to be. And this is all 1% up, so yeah, we're suffering really hard right now. Can we go up any higher? I hope so. No, we can't. Alright, well, we're gonna have to bridge it the rest of the way. Which is really gonna screw us up, because these things don't angle upwards. Oh, dang it, come on now. I should have known that I'd somehow screw this up. I'd have to get like somebody that's actually really good at these to do this, because as you guys can see, I suck at it. I was never good at building. Especially not in this game. This was actually what I did with my Aurora Falls map, was I did this. Just constantly trying to get it to work. Alright, so one more should be just enough to get a good turn going with the bridges. I hope. Yes, okay, cool. And we'll, of course, we're gonna need it to go up one. Alright. Okay. Yeah, I used to be the exact same way when it came to building in the old game. I could not figure it out for the life of me. So I would always do like these weird things. Alright, hold on. Actually, let me retract this one. And let's go fix what we already have And then we'll save right fast. So as of right now, we don't have enough for anything really. Alright, so we stopped with the cutting over here. So let's go on ahead and go back through and cut as much as we can. I mean, if this works, it'll be great. Because, I love it when things come together the way I need them to. But I'm a little afraid that it's not going to work the way I need it to. And any locomotive that we bring up here. Because honestly, guys, I'm not going to do like one of those crazy things where I'm like, oh yeah, let me just, load up my train with everything I possibly can and bring it up here. No. Every locomotive that I bring up here will have to be able to pull whatever they're hauling, for one, obviously. And two, they're obviously going to have to be able. Everything can really shoot all right. Okay. Get those out of the way because they lose are just as bad as the other ones. All right. Get these out of the way. Yeah, I love a good switchback. So the coal should be easy. I think the water's probably going to be the one that's going to aggravate the schnart out of me. Because those cars are not light whatsoever. I'll end up probably making a rail yard for every one of the trains, or at least a switch that the trains can sit in. Because we got a long way to go before we even get there, by the way. We're going to need locomotives that can handle themselves on a long trek. Be great if they added the other shays into the game, but no, they didn't do that. I really do, I wish they would have kept working on the shays. Even if they would have added just one that just had more, um, stuff, more cars to it. I don't care, something would have been better than nothing. But, you know, unfortunately, I get the feeling this game is abandoned, and if my hopes are correct, I am hoping that Century of Steam comes out this year or next. Even though I dislike Heist, I am looking forward towards Century of Steam a lot. I'm hopeful that it will be just as entertaining as this game was, whatever you want to say. How I managed to do that, I don't know, but I'm not going to question it. One tree. I'm not even joking. One freaking tree. That's it. That's all that's stuck in there. That's crazy. All right. Now, did I miss what? The boulders? I get the feeling they just randomly place some of this stuff sometimes because, like, it doesn't feel like half this stuff should be up here. I mean, flying boulders. I mean, come on. Just so you guys know, tonight I will be doing another War Thunder live stream. If you would like to participate, that's fine. I don't mind. Probably I will be doing what I will be doing in it is maybe some customs. I'll probably do a little bit of grinding, yada yada yada. Um, but the main thing that I'll be doing tonight is probably customs. Different kinds of customs, probably a few hide and seeks, things like that. So if you want to participate, you're more than welcome to. All right. Well, all right. I think that actually looks really good. It's not getting in the way of anything, which is a blessing. So, we're gonna call that a win for us. Now, the goal here is to try and possibly get the track to go all the way this way, if I can, and get it to where I can loop it around and come back up. But again, there's no guarantee that it'll work. So, there's hope, but again, no guarantee. We're gonna do our best here though. Alright, how many planks were they able to make out of just 34? Are you serious? Wow, that's sad, not gonna lie. It's not gonna make us nothing at all. Oh well. We shall continue with the money glitch for now. And then we will start hauling, um... Now I could, in reality, go on ahead and buy one of these, but I don't think they're gonna be able to do enough. And I don't think we're gonna actually make enough to actually get to level 5 either. Nope, it doesn't look like it. Nope, nowhere near it. But we're close on the cash at least, so that's at least a positive. Alright, so we're just gonna... Where do we want to sit this locomotive here? Well, we'll sit it where we were gonna put it, I guess. First off, we gotta keep this fire going, so... Alright, well, here we go. We gotta go get the, We gotta go get the Glenbrook fired up again. She has plenty of water for now. We got a lot of work to do, Glenbrook. Let's get you fired up so we can go. We got a lot of stuff we gotta unload, old girl. And funny enough, we also have a lot of switches we have to go through, too. The only one, really, that we have to switch, or throw, is this one here, to where we go to where we need to get to. This one will be fine until we get everything loaded up again. Yeah, because once we start delivering the logs again, we'll be pretty much ready. The logs are just a pain to get, too. I mean, I could get the other ones. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, if I'm being honest. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that instead. That will be better and quicker to do it that way than to do what we've been doing. Because... Oh. Alright, so which one holds... Alright, so thinking about it. Alright, this one holds the cork, or the logs. So we'll just pull in, and then we'll back out on here, and we'll just constantly do that. Back and forth until we get it done. And it'll be quicker than what we're used to. We can make money a little bit faster. And we'll get done faster, too. Also, I haven't really bothered to look and see... What are we looking at as far as... Why are we down to 200? Why are you such a guzzler? You know what? You'll just have to wait until, You'll just have to wait until we can go and fill you up again. And since we can use that other line, I might just stop using that other one altogether, honestly, because, you know, whatever. which means technically the Glenbrook isn't going to be using anything crazy, which means technically I can afford to get, what, we got 8, 9, 10, 4 more cars. Well, that's 300 apiece. We'll just wait until, oh, well, we'll have enough. Let's get the 300. We'll end up making that much and more off of just hauling the stuff that we gotta haul. Because right now we're XP grinding. We don't really care about anything else, so. Alright, 103, 102, so it'll be 104. Cha-ching. So we're now down to, holy cow, we lost more than I figured we would. Oh well. Again, we'll make it back. No issue, so. Alright, here we go. I just gotta hope that we can, or that we have enough space to do this. If not, I can easily build onto it, because where I built it, I can easily kind of make a loop or something for it. And it won't take me long to do. Oh boy. Brakes. We went the wrong way. I forgot that this was the thing right here. Glad I caught it when I did. That would have been a pain. Actually, hold on. How many am I hauling? 1, 2, 3. Okay, I am hauling 12. Okay. Looked like a lot more than 12. That's why I was asking. If I remember correctly, oddly enough, um, I think I'm trying to think of like what thing holds the most in this game. You know, by these standards, I could go buy a Shay, slap it on here, and have it doing the logging. I might do that, actually. Obviously not right now, later, but we have a goal that we have set. Still kind of disappointed with those box cars on that, but nah. You don't make much off of that stuff either. You have to have the bigger cars in order for that to work out. I think right now, well, no, I'm only a few points away from getting the Heisler, so that's not true. I could probably get the Heisler, but I don't think the Heisler is going to be able to make it up that grade with only 13,000 pounds of corrected effort. I'm hoping the Climax will be able to do it, but I guess we'll see. I haven't ever used this one, so I don't know if I have enough um, area to pull up or not. So we got to figure that out. Throw that switch so that it's ready. I don't think we're going to have enough area, so I might have to go and mess around a little. We'll see again. I worry about it when we get there. Hmm. We're not doing 30, you doofus. We want as much rail as we can possibly stick in here without it getting in the way. Yeah, that's a little bit more, but we're gonna have to cut down some trees. There we go. Right, there we go. All right, cool. Problem solved. And technically, I could do the same thing with the cordwood, but I don't think we're gonna have 12 cars of cordwood because cordwood does take a little bit more to get done. Is that water tower? Okay, it's there. So I have to go check on something while this is loading. So I shall do that. Okay, I am back. Sorry that took longer than I thought it would. I have yet to save the game, aren't haven't I? Yeesh. I gotta save the game right fast. Alright, cool. Now we can continue. Hmm. I might have been wrong. I might have more room in here than I thought, but either way, it's better to have more room than not enough room, right? Shoot, with this, I could probably put 20 cars of this stuff in here and still have enough room. Who knows? Maybe I will one day. Maybe I'll have a Shay that just carries like 20 cars of this stuff and just pushes and pulls it back and forth. That would actually be really cool. I love that echo. What more water we got? Alright, well, you definitely need to fill this thing up with water. We'll be done here in a second so we can throw it in reverse. The only issue is I'm seeing that the braking power isn't as good as we'd like it to be, but I guess that's to be expected when you're hauling a train that isn't exactly built for this. I imagine the Glenbrook probably hauled a little bit more than the Eureka did, but not by much. Also, you can always tell when they actually fail to test. Yeah, okay, we're filling. So we got a whole train of just logs, all of which have to go in different places. Now, log service open, no cordwood service. So we're going to delete this. We're going to get a prop. with a sign. Cordwood service now open. I like that. Um, I like that. Cordwood service now open. I have just hit them. I just hit 2 hours, guys. Like, just hit it. Probably doing that cordwood sign. I hit it. But we're going to keep on going. And we're going to keep on this. All right. So I kind of have an idea on how to make money. I don't know if they ever actually fixed it, but you can get cordwood, deliver it here, and make money that way, which is funny. Logs. I think it means these. Yeah. There are different ways to make money in this game that you don't have to really grind to do. All right, here we go. The amount of force it takes to get these cars moving is always entertaining to watch. All right, so we're gonna go deliver these logs, get as much money off of that as we can, and then we'll go from there. Because we gotta fill up the planks on both of them again, and we have to fill up ponds. So with 12 cars, 12 cars each hauling six, that's what? Um, Let me grab my calculator out because I can't count that high anymore. Let's see, 6 times 12 is 72. So that's almost enough to fill up a log pond. But it does take that much. So we're going to have to make at least 4 trips in order to make it work. So that's 4 trips of whatever. And yes, there is a reason why I'm going this slow. This is a very sharp turn that they have. We're gonna keep on backing it up. And then we'll pull it forward and do whatever we gotta do. I love how it's slowly accelerating itself. Hmm. Just keep on chugging, I guess. All right, let's get paid, shall we? And we have officially reached level 5, ladies and gentlemen, which means that at any moment, if I wanted to, which I don't have enough cash to do it, I could go and buy any of these 3 locomotives here. Which again, I will not be doing because at 13,000 pounds of tractive effort, I don't believe we're going to have enough. I think we need the 17,000 pound. So we're gonna hold off. We're gonna wait, and we're gonna keep on grinding. Anyway, I hope everybody has a lovely day. And remember,